This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2021 Sunset Trail Superlight model 291 RK for rear kitchen, I believe. Okay. So, you have power stabilizers. One switch operates both rear, and there's another switch up front. They operate both front. Okay. Right here, underneath the trailer, with the yellow cap, is the LP Quick Connect fitting. You can see this is the male side of a end of a LP hose that's on the back of this hook top here. So you have to plug that in, connect the hose, I mean, before you can use the LP. And of course you got a 120 volt AC refrigerator. That's basically hardwired to the point where when you plug in the trailer it turns on. You have a power awning with LED strip. You got outside speakers, TV signal out, and power, so you can put a TV out here. Okay. Your stairs fold into the trailer, and they also, when they fold down, you can adjust the legs. So there's one of these pins on both sides. Now I've gone and done it. Okay, well, I'll get that. There's a pin on each side, and that's how you adjust the length of the legs. Here's your switch for the front stabilizers. You have a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how that works when you pick it up. This crank right here is for your power tongue jack. If it happens to fail, you can pull this plug off the top here and crank it manually. You also have another crank here with a slot cut in it. That crank, let me look to make sure before I say anything here. Oh, there it is down there. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so that crank can go on the stabilizer jacks here on the off-door side, and you can crank them manually too if you need to get yourself out of trouble. Also, your slide rooms, which are called AccuSlides. There are different kinds of slide outs. This one's an AccuSlide. There's also a attachment you can put on this, and using an electric drill you can also move this in and out if you have to, if it happens to have a problem. Okay, all right. So, power tongue jack. You got two LP tanks full with a automatic changeover regulator. Deep cycle marine battery right here. This is the kill switch for the battery, so when you put it into storage you can shut it off. Okay. All other times you want it on so the battery gets charged, so that's important. That's your adapter for your power cord. There's your dump hose, of course. You have this sprayer right here, which you can connect to the spray ports. I'll show you those when we get to them. The city water connection is right here. This is the most common way to get water to the trailer. You're just going to hook it up, turn it on, and you're all set. Now, if you're camping at a campground, let's say like an older state park that does not have plumbing on the campsites, they have a fill station. When you first go through the gate, you can fill this onboard fresh water tank. You can fill it and use the pump, the onboard pump, to pump the water. So even if you don't have city water, you still can, by pre-filling this tank, you still can operate all the plumbing as if you do. Now this is a black tank flush here. The black tank, which is toilet water and waste, you know, they tend to, if you don't clean them well, let's say the sensors that tell you the level of the tank, how full it is, those can get clogged up. So after you dump your black tank, you leave the valve open and you put a hose on here, turn it on, it'll actually spray out the inside of the tank and clean it out much better. Also, when I was talking about the fresh water tank, that white gate valve right there, hopefully you can see that, that is the dump valve for the fresh water tank. Okay, boy, these, I gotta get back down here. The skirting comes down low. Anyway, you can see the handles there, hopefully. Your black is right there, and your gray is right there. Like I said, gray is sink and shower water, black is toilet water and waste. Those two lines with the caps on them are low points of the plumbing. You use that during winterizing and dewinterizing, okay? So you always dump the black tank first, because it's dirtier water than the gray tank, so dump it and then use the gray water to kind of flush it out, and then use the black tank flush on it and really get it cleaned out. Okay, so you have another tank back here. This one is going to be a gray tank, I believe. Yes, so anyway, that one you have to dump separately. You'd have to hook the hose up to it and do that second. Behind here is just the inputs for your campground cable and satellite, that sort of thing. Okay, you got a 50 amp 30-foot cord, and we give you the adapters to adapt it down to as far as you need to adapt it to anyway. Excuse me. This is your water heater. The controls for it are inside the trailer, but I'll just show you that this is where you empty it right here. It's the drain valve, or drain cap, I'm sorry. And use an 1 1/16 socket. Try to get a 6-point socket, that's best. Okay, and I'll show you the switches inside. That's coiled sprayer I showed you, plugs in right here. You have a backup camera, which will show you how it operates when you pick up your trailer. Plus you've got a ladder, which makes it really, it's a good thing because it makes it very easy to inspect your roof. The manufacturer says you should inspect it every 90 days, so you need someone to go up there, look at all the sealant, look for cracking or separation, look for damage from low branches on any of the roof attachments or the roofing material, that sort of thing. Just give it a good inspection. Odds are you won't have to do anything, but if you do see an issue, get it taken care of immediately. Okay. While we're coming in here, this device here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. You can see how it's green. It should always be green. Also, if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low. So I'm going to set it off through the test mode, and you can hear the alerts. That's LP, carbon monoxide test coming up, and the low battery alert right now. And then it goes back to green like it should. Okay, now if it goes off, obviously you're going to take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, and figure out what's going on with it. Okay, while we're standing here, this is the thermostat, obviously. It works like any other thermostat. This is the mode bar here. You push it to light it up. Then you can go through all the different functions. Fan, cool, which is the air conditioner. Try to run the fan and the air conditioner on auto. That's the best way to do it. And when it says fan, the fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. So, okay, but I'll always try to run the AC or the fan on auto. That's the best way to do it. Okay, so this is your control panel up here. Okay, so your power awning switch right here. Just make sure you never leave the power awning out when unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in. Your slide room right here. Okay, lights. You have your water pump that I told you about here. You would use this water pump for pumping water out of the fresh tank if you don't have city water. You'll use it for winterizing the trailer also. To light your water heater on gas is right here. To turn on the electric element right here. Just remember, never run it without water in the tank. So always check to make sure there's water in the tank. And these are your tank heaters for your holding tanks. It just warms them up and keeps them from freezing. Okay. Your battery is charged. Fresh water has a third in it. Black tank 1, which is the only one you have, is 1, so you disregard 2. And then this one, gray 1, will be the one in the bathroom, the gray tank in the bathroom. And gray 2 is the second gray tank, which is referred to as a galley tank. It's for the kitchen sink. Remember I showed you there's a valve towards the back of the trailer with a dump and a valve. That's for that tank right there. Okay. All right. So you have remotes for all these things here. I'm looking around to see if I can find them. I've got them stashed away somewhere. There they are, right there. Okay, so basically, let's start with the fireplace. So the fireplace has a remote, and it runs on 110, 120 AC. So you can, it's got a timer on it, so you can actually set the timer to turn on, 20 minutes before you get out of bed in the morning, for example. It'll take the chill out of it on those cool mornings. And you can heat to a great extent anyway. You can heat up this space anyway without wasting or using up your LP gas, which you have a limited supply, right? Electricity, you just plug it in and you use as much as you need to. So it's good in that sense. Also, you can adjust the flame to look for different color configurations and that sort of thing. You can set the fan, because this is a space heater also, obviously. So you got off, low, and high for this fan. You can set that, and then there's temperature, of course. So it does all that. This device here is the power converter. So what this does is converts AC to DC power. So on this side, you can see you got regular circuit breakers like you'd see at home. That's 120 AC, 110 AC, whichever you prefer. So, and every one of them is labeled. So anything that runs on AC power is powered through that. Some things have to be AC. Anything that can run on DC in a trailer does. AC, things like the fireplace, has to be alternating current. The air conditioner, for example, the microwave, those all have to run on AC power. So those are the breakers for it. Now, then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. So you got regular 12 volt fuses and they're all labeled. If any of these fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up and you can see them through this tinted plastic here. Okay. And importantly, this is also a battery tender. So as long as you're plugged in, it senses how much energy your battery has. And if it's charged up, it'll just trickle a couple amps up there. If it's low, it'll send 10 or whatever it needs. So it's smart in that sense. Okay. Also, this looks like it still has the plastic cover on it, just so you know, you can pull it off. But basically, it's the AM/FM radio. You can stream off this USB right here. You could also use Bluetooth and stream from your phone or your tablet. And this HDMI is an in, so you go into the system with the HDMI. So if you had like let's say a portable Blu-ray player or something like that, you could plug it right in there, set it here, and then plug it in, the power in, and you're all set. So that's always an option. You have two speaker zones, Zone A and Zone B. A is inside the trailer, B is outside the trailer. So, and it has all the normal functions of a radio too, with presets and all that sort of thing. Okay. Your TV is self-explanatory. It's just a TV. And let me look behind us and see how the antenna works. Okay, so it's probably up here. I hope. Oh yeah, there it is. So, okay. Sorry about the camera work. Okay, so there's the power antenna hook up there, and this is the switch for it. So you have to turn that on to get a good signal over the air. But that antenna does the radio and the TV. So if you're using those, either one of those, you want to turn the power on the antenna. Okay, that's important. A lot of people forget about that, and they think there's something wrong, but it's just the signal booster doesn't have any power. Okay, so the microwave works like any other microwave. Your vent hood here for your range is light and fan, of course. Your range, always leave the glass top closed when you're traveling. I'm not sure if he's got the gas on. We'll find out right now. You turn it on and then you turn this one to spark. Yeah, so it lit right there. So this is the sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark the burners in the oven. The oven's a little different in that you have to light the pilot light, which is all the way at the bottom, all the way to the back. Let me see if we can see it if I spark it. There you go. So that's it there. So what you do is you go all the way to the right to this knob here. You go to the picture of the pilot light and you depress it. You keep it depressed during the whole lighting procedure. You start sparking this by turning it clockwise till the pilot light down here lights. Once it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 seconds or so to heat it up. You go to whatever temperature you want. Of course, when you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use it. Okay. Now this refrigerator here is a 12-volt compressor refrigerator, so it runs on 12 volts. So when you're pulling it down the road, your battery up front will be running it, and the alternator on your tow vehicle will be charging the battery. When you're plugged in, your power converter will be running it. So that's where the 12 volt comes from. The controls are self-explanatory. You set the temperature up and down. It's got a power saving mode, that sort of thing. It's just the good thing about this is because compared to the gas absorption refrigerator is you get more cubic feet, because the gas absorption refrigerator stops about right here because there's a cooling unit back there. This one goes much farther back, so you have more room. Okay. All right. I told you the slide room is an AccuSlide. This is a hide-a-bed here, so you can pull the back cushions off, set them aside, then you're going to grab it down here and fold it out. It goes out 2 panels out, plus the panel right there is the third one. You flip the back down, so you got 3 paneled hide-a-bed, and it's actually not a bad hide-a-bed as those things go. So, okay. With the chairs, always strap them down. You're not going to keep them from moving. It's just to keep them from flying out of control. If you hit a crazy bump, and you won't break something with them, you know, a window or dent your refrigerator or whatever. So, okay, so let's go this way. Okay. Of course, the sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. The thing to know, if you don't already know this, the toilet has a flush pedal, and the black tank is directly below. Okay? So when people talk about using it dry, they're actually talking about the black tank. So you can't use it without water and chemical in it. So when you first start, let's say you just pull into the campground, you level the trailer, you hook up the power and hook up the water, then you come in here with 1 dose of chemical, and you'll step on the pedal, water will come swirling around like it does, but it'll just be much faster because this is just running on residual pressure. You dump your chemical right in there, you put about 1 gallon or so of water in the tank. Some people use more, whatever, but you have to the bottom line is you have to have water and chemical in it before you start using it. Otherwise the smell will be pretty bad enough so you won't do it twice anyway. And also it can get clogged up if you don't have water in it too. So it always has to have water. You know, for example, inevitably you're going to run into someone at the campground who thinks that because you've got plumbing on the campsite, dump on the campsite, you can just hook up your hose from your black tank and leave the valve open. But that's the last thing you want to do, because the fluids would just drain out and the solids will stay in the black tank, and it'll be a real mess. You have to chisel it out. So you'll run into somebody who swears that's the way to do it. That's all I'm saying. But you never do it that way. You always wait till the black tank is full, and then you pull the valve and flush it, close it, and start over again. Let's say you're going to stay at the campground for another week, but you had to dump your black tank because it was full. Well, after you dump the black tank, you come in here with your chemical, throw a dose in the bowl, step on this and put 1 gallon of water in there, and you're set to use it again until you dump it. So, okay, this is a GFCI. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI, even the one on the outside, so keep that in mind. Okay. So the bed, obviously it's not made yet. We're still cleaning up your trailer up here, but you can pick up the bed and there's storage underneath. You also have a pet station for your, I guess, dog bowls go there or whatever. Okay. This air conditioner, or this trailer is pre-wired for a second air conditioner. That's why it's a 50 amp system. So if you wanted to add another air conditioner here, that's what this sticker's telling you, that it's pre-wired right there. So all you would do is remove the vent, and the air conditioner will pop right in there if you ever want to, go that way. So it's pre-wired for that. Also, I want to show you that the escape window, you're just going to push it all the way through. You'll grab a hold of the tab and you'll pull the screen out, and that way you can exit that way in an emergency. TV, it's right here, of course. Always strap it when you're when you're traveling. Okay. All right, so I think that covers it. Let me look around here. Yeah, I think we're good. So, so thanks for buying your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And please remember what I told you about inspecting the roof and the seals. That's that and winterizing your trailer are the two most important things you need to do as a trailer owner. So please take care of that. Right now we're in camping mode. There's no antifreeze in the system. It's ready to be used. So, okay, thanks.